how you have to you have to take on the responsibility to create something that's meaningful in your life.
Yes, or to discover it. That's one of the
Yeah.
weaknesses of Nietzsche, I think. I mean, I'm a great admirer
Yeah.
of Nietzsche, and I've never read anyone who could think with as much glittering brilliance as Nietzsche, and he's very dangerous to read because he's so unbelievably intelligent. He'll take everything you know apart, sometimes with a sentence. He said once, he was bragging in a sort of self-deprecatory manner in some sense. I mean, he never sold any books, and so he was sort of bragging to himself, I suppose. He said, I can say in a sentence what it takes other people in an entire book to say, what they can't say in an entire book. And that actually happens to be true. Nietzsche could, in fact, do that. And he believed that we could create our own values, but that's wrong. We can't create our own values. We can discover them, and we can co-create them. But, and you know this in your book as well. It comes out again implicitly. You wouldn't be able to violate your conscience if you could create your own values. Right?
Violate your conscience?
Yeah, because your conscience, you'll
lower this for me a little bit.
You'll do something that your conscience objects to.
Okay.
Okay. And if you were fully capable of creating your own values, your conscience would never object. You would just go along with what you'd proposed. Like if we were the sorts of creatures that could do that. But what we find very rapidly is we try very hard to impose our own values. And then it fails. We're not satisfied by what we're pursuing, or we become extremely guilty, or we become ashamed, or we're hurt, or we hurt other people. And sometimes that doesn't mean we're wrong, but most often it does. And so your search for bedrock, I think, is, and perhaps the fact that you never do come to any final conclusion, is definitely, at least in my opinion, so maybe not definitely, but in my opinion, a large part of the reason why your books are attractive. The millennials, you talk about the consumer literature that shows that people who have an infinite variety of choices are less happy than people who only have one or two.